The evolution of Islamic finance and ethical financial activities over the years has been pivotal to the growth and development of many nations across the globe. Its various instruments has ensured the unleashing of huge funding for both national and individual development. Many countries have tapped instruments like Sukuk and Waqf for their infrastructural development, while the halal industries had become a growing gold mine for many entrepreneurs. From banking to insurance, as well as endowment, non-interest and ethical finance has become a veritable alternative for individuals and nations seeking to escape the debt trap that the conventional financial system has become, in view of its huge interest rates, which had continued to hamper growth and development. For a country like Nigeria, with its huge population and a mind-boggling infrastructure deficit, had been very slow in embracing ethical financing, with the issuance of the first federal government Sukuk bond happening less than a decade ago. Other avenues like Islamic banking, Islamic insurance, and Islamic endowment are still at a fledgling stage due to negligible proportion to Nigerians that have embraced them so far. It is in view of this that the academic journey of Professor Tajudeen Yusuf of the Department of Insurance and Actuarial Science at the University of Lagos is quite instructive for a nation that is in dire need of humongous funding for its infrastructural deficit as well as the financial well-being of its citizenry. Professor Tajudeen Yusuf is a distinguished academic, practitioner, and thought leader in the field of Islamic finance, with over 2 decades of impactful contribution spanning research, teaching, industry practice, and policy advisor.
You are all welcome to the 13th inaugural lecture.
He brought all these to bear at the University of Lagos with inaugural lecture 2024-2025 academic session. In the lecture titled Risk, Ethics, and the Road Less Taken, Navigation, the Journey from Insurance to Takaful, this professor of risk management and insurance highlighted the immense benefits inherent in embracing the ethical financial system for the country and its citizenry.
Insurance penetration is the ratio of gross written premiums to a country's GDP, which remains alarmingly low across Africa, with Nigeria experiencing one of the lowest rates. Despite the continent's vast population, economic growth potential, and increasing risk from climate change, political instability, and health crisis, the adoption of insurance products remains minimal. Africa's insurance penetration rate is estimated at around 3% compared to the global average of 7%.
He went down memory lane by creating a nexus between his sojourn as a reluctant student of insurance to becoming full-fledged professor in the field with a bias for Islamic insurance or takaful.
In 2003, one of the practitioners in the industry by name Mr. Okpe Oreduba came to this campus and he was looking at lecturers who have knowledge in takaful. I was consulted, and for a whole month of Ramadan, 30 days, I was explaining to Nigerians on NTA what is takaful. And by that time, African Alliance Insurance Company was the only company that was selling takaful. And Nigerians, the profound response of Nigeria was so shaking that the NICOM, National Insurance Commission, in 2013 now released guidelines for takaful operations in Nigeria. I started 2003 10 years later, government saw the sense in it, and they released the first guidelines on takaful in 2013. That set the stage for broader national acceptance and eventual regulatory recognition of takaful.
He x-rayed the evolution of takaful as a key component of broader Islamic financing principles, as well as the various ethical underpinnings as espoused in the Islamic Sharia. He further mentioned the invaluable contributions of takaful to other economies of the world, while also pinpointing the losses suffered by the nation by not utilizing Islamic insurance in safeguarding some of Nigeria's critical national assets.
I bridge academia and industry, town and gown with Nur Takaful. I organized the first academic industry engagement between UNILAG and Nur Takaful in 2023. I fostered experiential learning, career mentoring, and collaborative research that laid the foundation for regular engagement between takaful providers and academic researchers.
He rounded off the inaugural lecture by charting the way forward for both practitioners and regulators so that the generality of Nigerians and policymakers can key into the various aspects of Islamic financing.
My final thoughts. Ethics remain the cornerstone of sustainable financial solutions. The journey from conventional insurance to takaful represents an evolution towards responsible risk management. While conventional insurance has played an undeniable role in global economic stability, takaful provides a model that integrates risk sharing with ethical finance. Madam Vice Chancellor, colleagues, students, and guests, as a young man, I stumbled into insurance by accident. Today, I see that accident as providence. Through insurance and through takaful, we are called to build systems that protect not just wealth, but human dignity. The road less taken, ethical risk management, is harder. It demands courage against dominant paradigms. It demands faith that finance can serve justice, not just profit. But as Robert Frost reminds us, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the differences. This is my story.
For the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Folashade Tolulokbe Ogunshola, who presided over the inaugural lecture left no one in doubt of mastery of the subject matter. Thus, his advice that the nation should embrace Islamic financing holistically and should not be treated with levity.
Other notable contributions of his include co-editing Islamic Wealth and the SDGs and authoring Risk Management in Islamic Finance, a Practical Approach. He has secured over 80 million naira in research grants, including tech fund-funded projects on digital financial inclusion and SME sustainability. Beyond academia, Professor Yusuf drives industry transformation as chairman of Ethical Microfinance Bank, Macrotel FinTech Limited, and Hilal Takaful Nigeria Limited. He advises Sterling Bank Academy on takaful and Islamic finance, fostering ethical financial systems in Nigeria.
As for industry players in the Islamic financing ecosystem, the lecture couldn't have come at a more auspicious time, as it provided a great impetus to the growth of the industry.
Generally, our population is yet to be served, and so the impact you envisage in the Maqasid Sharia, which is the primary cause, the primary essence of Islam in the first place, is misplaced. It's misplaced because, it's not enough for us to get, information from abroad about sustainable development goals. It's more for us to say what are the rules of the Maqasid, and how do we touch that? How do we use insurance and takaful particularly to provide all of these unique services to people so they can have a very good life.
Interest-free economy. When you see a situation where you go to you need loan, and the cost of that loan makes profit making prohibitive, then you see a lot of people taking loan only to collapse eventually, or they have hypertension, they become depressed. But the option that Prof has explored, he has called our attention to the fact that it is less trodden. We don't take to this road often, but the first thing is we know less about this road. We don't know much. Talk less of convincing us that yes, it's going to be profitable, it's going to help us. So these are the realities that he has to call our minds to.
Alhamdulillah, he gave a very rich expo into how we can actually utilize Takafu. How can Islamic finance benefit Nigeria? We have already seen the benefit in the various sukuk, and if you look at the Lokoja Abuja road, you see what sukuk can do. You see the impact of Islamic finance, especially when you also look at the topic he discussed, Takafu, and how we can actually utilize Takafu. We would see that it is very important that the government gives more attention to ensuring that the framework is embraced and utilized, just like it has done with the sukuk, the FGN sukuk. So Islamic finance holds very rich promise with regards to asset financing and other forms of financial intermediation in Nigeria.
We have, of course, to thank Allah for Professor Tajudeen Yusuf. All along, he has been a team player in all his efforts, in all his endeavor. He became our chairman in 2016. At that point in time, our Saka collection ranges around 180 million. But today, we are talking of close to 600 million because of the dynamics he has brought into the system. And since he's doing this today, we have no choice than to just come around and give him all the necessary support. Prof Tajudeen has been somebody who doesn't usually assume when it comes to supporting the poor and the needy in the environment. He always insists on doing more and doing more and doing more, and that's really helped us to grow this much.
I'm happy that today Takaful is gaining a lot of grants. People can see the benefit in Takaful. So there's nobody that will see difficulties and will see his and say we want to go along with the difficulty one. So we see a number of people turning towards Takafu, and not just that, not just Islamic insurance, anything Islamic finance, we can see people turning into it. In fact, people that are even non-Muslims, they are embracing non-interest finance. Each time all those financing are advertised, they are usually oversubscribed within the shortest time. We're talking about sukuk or some other thing, oversubscribed. So for Nigeria to prosper, I think we need to toe that part more than the conventional.
I think it is an opportunity that Nigeria has joined the league. It is also very heartwarming and cheering. Even countries like United Kingdom, which is not known as an Islamic country, have adopted Islamic finance many, many years back. And we have even seen, the good side of it. Ditto for Takafu, which is a subset of the Islamic finance. The winning card for Takafu is where those who are policyholder, which we call participants, they are the real owner of the operating of the company, which means that it is a win-win situation. You pay your premium, which we call contribution, and after one full 12 calendar months, and there's no any form of peril that will lead to you having a claim. If for that line of portfolio of cover such a person has made is able to earn surplus at the end of the day, that policyholder will be given a share of that particular premium which he has paid, which you call surplus distribution. This is the good side of Takafu. Just like we have seen the good side of Sukuk today. In the case of Takafu, there is no winner takes all. It is something that we should begin to start looking at so that we can be able to take our country to the level at which we want the development and growth to be seen in this particular space.
For friends and associates of Professor Tajudeen Yusuf, the inaugural lecture is indeed an icing on the cake for this quintessential scholar and humanist.
Islamic finance, as it relates to all other sectors in Islam, it's about opening new grounds for the ignorant. Because when I say the ignorant, I'm talking about myself too. Only a knowledge-based approach can lead to economic empowerment. And I'm talking about the knowledge of the Quran. You cannot accept a product and reject the manual. The Maqasid Sharia, which is the objectives of Sharia, is to protect the deen, to protect life, to protect property, to protect the intellect and posterity. This has to do with wealth protection and wealth maximization. It was my lecturer, even when I came for my master's in Islamic finance at the University of Lagos Business School. May Allah bless this lecture.
A well-delivered lecture, and I can say that from the inaugural lecture, you also can agree with me that it merited that. So he has presented this professorial inaugural lecture, and he has shown his contribution to knowledge, to development of the society and humanity at large.
This is a professor with a peculiarity. Professor that can turn things around and make things to be better. This Islamic finance and economy can go a long way in solving Nigerian problem. We see that our former President Buhari, he took to sukuk. What is sukuk? Instead of you going to foreign country, you take money from rice seller, potters, small business people in 10,000 naira. All these people are using their own effort, their legitimately earned money to develop our nation and still make some profit out of it. This sukuk, China use it. This sukuk, America use it. Many European countries, they use it in order to bring about betterment in their economy. And I believe this instrument, if government depends on it, we don't need to borrow money for our infrastructural development in the nation. And that is one. There are many other ones. The government should take time to look into and see how we can, within our own self, with the riches Allah has given Nigeria and Nigerians.
His research is dated back to 2003 when he pioneered the development and sharing of knowledge about takaful insurance. And because he's an expert in that area, he went further to develop himself by getting masters in Islamic finance, and he's also secured his PhD in England. What he has done with his research, which we have seen today, is to show us the extent to which takaful insurance can help the world, not even individual now, how it can help a nation, how it can help the corporate world, even into tapping the opportunities within the takaful insurance. The takaful insurance is a win-win insurance. We are very proud of what he has delivered. In fact, I bought copies of his inaugural papers to also distribute to people that are not opportune to be here today. I think the University of Lagos has also blazed the trail by making sure that this area of discussion has now been open to the world, because what they have done now was to open it to the world, to open it to the corporate people, to open it to all and sundry. Whether you are a Muslim or not, you can bring and come and participate in takaful insurance because it's an endeavor.
As for family members and other relatives, it was indeed a joyous occasion as the event further accentuates the beacon of hope that their illustrious son represents.
Tajudeen Àkànwó ọmọ dáadáa ni. Níbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ ìgbésí ayé ẹ̀ kò ń fa wàhálà. Bó ṣe máa jókòó tí ó máa wò báwọn ẹ̀gbẹ́ ń pariwo náà ń ṣe kò ń fa wàhálà, kò ń bá yàn jà. ọmọ dáadáa ni o ọmọ dáadáa ni inú mi sì dùn ayọ̀ mi kún kó kún fún mi dalẹ́ kí sì yín náà kún fún yín dalẹ́ mo dúpẹ́ o gbogbo wa la máa dúró ríre wa ẹni ẹlẹ́ni ò ní gbà ṣe wa ṣe o ọ̀rọ̀ wa dayọ̀ ìdùnnú àtayọ̀ la fi jẹun wọn o àní fàìsàn jẹun wọn o.
Today really means a lot, especially for our aged mother. You could see the joy in her. She's about 87 now, and for her it's a joyful thing that one of his sons has risen to the position of academic excellence. And for us, the other siblings, we are extremely joyful. Joyful in the sense that he's a man that we all love so much, and he has laid the path for every one of us to follow.
Professor Tajudeen Yusuf, láti kékeré láti mọ́ra gbàdó jáde second school Lansarudeen láti jọ ń bọ̀ láti around 1983 ti time gbogbo lọ sí ní kó rìn ìrìn àjò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀ tọkọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní lifestyle ti sọ̀lọ̀ ló ti kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kó wá sí yìí like kó tó travel lọ abroad. Alhamdulillah èèyàn dáadáa ni mùsùlùmí dáadáa ni Ọlọ́run ní kó lè combine ẹ̀kọ́ Islam pẹ̀lú ẹ̀kọ́ òde òní, both Islamic study and Western education. Ọlọ́run kó lè kó pọ̀ tó fi dé peak. Ó sì jẹ́ èèyàn tí ó yẹ sálápọn kì í bá yẹn jà kì í fa wàhálà inú ẹ̀ sì máa dùn sí gbogbo ohun tí yẹn bá ń ṣe. Eléyìí ni díẹ̀ nítorí ó lè sọ asúnmọ́ra gan tó ń bá ń ṣe ní ìjẹta ẹ̀rín àrùn àwọn ẹ̀ tó súnmọ́ tí ò bá fi mí ṣàkọ́kọ́ àbísẹ́lẹ̀ kejì.
Today's outing is historic. I think it will be memorable in some of our hearts for a very long time. I've known him for the 24 years of my marriage, and I've known him to be somebody that is ethical, is passionate. Unfortunately, we are also writing a book together. We're co-authoring the book together with him. And I have nothing but congratulations. I have nothing but beautiful words to express what I feel about today's event, as well as what I feel about him. So as a person, I wish him well. I wish him more blessings, faith in Allah, and I pray that Allah continues to sustain him for the Muslim Ummah.
In situating the role of faith, tenacity in catapulting him to the peak of his career, this coordinator of non-interest finance program at the UNILAG Business School acknowledged the pivotal role of the university in his academic pursuit in the United Kingdom, where he bagged his MA and PhD in Islamic management. This dual role as the coordinator of both non-interest finance program at Lagos Business School and acting president of the Institute of Islamic Finance Professional in Nigeria has afforded him the opportunity to contribute immensely to the growth of Islamic finance in Nigeria.
Promote the hardworking people. Promote those who have pursued legitimacy all their lives. Promote them. Keep promoting them. The hard work pays. Perseverance pays. Patience pays. So you need to promote those values. When you promote those values, so when people read their newspaper, that is what they see. When they watch their television, that's what they see. Anybody who is honest, promote them. Give them awards. Celebrate them. When we continue to celebrate the hardworking ones amongst us, the patient, the honest, the trustworthy, we celebrate them. The society, the young ones will be growing up to see, oh, so this is what this man was doing. But we should not celebrate those who make shortcuts, who try to use shortcuts. We must be able to verify how they got to where they are. We must be discerning. Any little good gesture, let's celebrate it, let's promote it. So when people wake up through the social media, what they see is that, oh, this guy was patient, this guy was trustworthy, this guy was honest, this guy is a man of integrity. People beginning to see, oh, so this society, but that will now mirror what the society will look like. We should be organizing award on monthly basis to celebrate them.
His work exemplifies the integration of academic rigor, ethical finance, and social impact, thereby positioning him as a leading figure in the global Islamic finance landscape. He is quite optimistic that Nigeria will get it right in its quest for development if it follows the footsteps of some other nations that have integrated the full complements of Islamic principles into their economic system.